Q&A. I have one or two questions. As usual, I actually have a lot of questions, but sometimes I have to sieve them. There are certain questions that, are rather suited for a masterclass. So, because of my kind of person where I like to teach, I like to get down to the root and really, if I bring up certain questions, they will take a long time. So there's certain questions that are a full course on their own. All right. So nevertheless, I'll just wait a few more minutes and then I'll take the first question. All right. Meanwhile, if you're here and you have a relationship question, maybe yours, maybe from stories, from other people's experiences, if there's something you want to ask, please, this would also be a good time to drop it in the comment section. Or if you want to request to join me, in the room, and so we can interact, that's also fine. Okay, I like to make the last Saturday somewhat freestyle kind of thing. At some point we started doing the banter session. The only reason I've taken a break is because sometimes it's hard to get the people you want on the show. It's hard to get them to confirm early. But what I'll be doing now is anyone who wants to feature on the Love Code with Mayzy session, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll do well to schedule a time for you to come on the live. Okay, but right now we're going to take questions. We're going to take questions. Questions. So if you have your questions, please bring them in. Let me speak to the first one I received last week. Yes, good evening, Mary. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming around. Yes, and thanks for the love. Oh yeah, we have to keep splashing the love. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to somebody here. Okay, there are two main questions I'll speak to first, and then there are a few others that I'll refer to. Meanwhile, if you have your own relationship questions, please do well to ask. Koda, you're welcome. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. This is Love Code with Mayzy, and this happens every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. What we basically do is to talk about matters of love, relationship, and marriage with a view to empowering people, teaching and providing insight so that people can learn, people can know that their relationships can work, people can recognize the mistakes and the things that make relationships fail. All right, so that's what we're about. It's empowering. We do this every week, and we've done this for over 2 years now. So we have a lot in our archives. All right, that said, I'll be going straight into the questions for today. Like I said earlier, if anyone has questions, please do well to ask. All right, apologies, we started a bit late. We had to attend to some setup issues. All right, now that said, give me a second. Let me take down something. Okay, so that's it. Let me read the first question. Okay, I'll take this question next. The first one I'm going to take is, how do I manage this pressure to get married? It gets worse every day for me, and I'm beginning to think I should just marry anyone, and then whatever it brings, I'll accept as my fate. Let me read that question again. How do I manage this pressure to get married? It gets worse every day, and I'm beginning to think I should just marry anyone, and whatever it brings, I'll accept as my fate. This is a very, very pertinent question. As a matter of fact, this particular question, just worded differently, have been asked me by about 3 people in the past, this year alone, yeah. Maybe from late December, about three different people have asked me this question, basically bordering around the same things. The pressure, and then, can a big deal? What's the big deal? Get married and face it once and for all. Like, do you understand? If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, what's there? Like, at least I know that I tried. Do you understand? I tried. I got in and I saw what it was for myself, and I left. Let me speak to these things, right? First, I'll speak to the pressure, and then I'll speak to the concept of trial and error. All right. Marriage is too important. It's too an important part of your life to expose to a trial and error approach. But let me leave that for later. Now, pressure. Every time people tell me about the pressure to get married, one of the first things I want to do is to break it down and let us identify the pressure points. Do you know that there are people who have such healthy and empowering support systems where no one in their house is asking them about marriage? Yes, their parents are there, but they are not asking them. They are not always in their faces saying, when are you getting us a grandchild? When are you getting married? Nobody is disturbing them, but yet they are being pressured. All right? So when I ask about the pressure points, what I'm saying is, I want you to be able to identify, are the pressure points external or internal? Are they more external than internal? Are they more internal than external? Basically, what I'm saying in plain English is it other people and other events and other circumstances that are mounting pressure on you more than the pressure you feel within? Or are you the one comparing yourself with stages in life you believed or you thought you should have been at by now? Are you the one comparing yourself with where your friends are? Are you the one comparing your friends with where your mates are, and then you feel like, oh, I should have been married by now, but I'm not yet married? Where exactly is the pressure coming from? All right, and this is very important because, Bros DJ, I see you. Good evening. Yeah. Now, this is very important to identify the pressure points because, do you know that nothing can really impact on you emotionally without your permission? All right. Yes, nothing can impact on you emotionally without your permission. And I'll put it another way, nothing can impact the extent to which any situation, whether positive or negative, will impact on you emotionally. The extent to which it will impact is entirely up to you. Yes, you need to know this. Now, one of the things I like to let people know is the fact that you are in control over your emotions. It sounds strange to some people because, they feel like emotions are just something that come over you and you don't know what to do, and as you were, you're clueless. You just flow with the emotions. No, that's not what it's meant to be. You are meant to have control over your emotions, okay, whether good or bad. So by that, I'm saying that if certain situations are happening to you, I shared something with you guys last week, a basic principle of life. How that life is 90% what happens in you and 10% what happens to you. In other words, all of the things that are coming at you, all of the experiences, all the situations you're having to deal with, okay, it will only impact on you to the extent that you open up yourself to be affected by it. If you choose to say, despite all that is going on around me, I will maintain this disposition, I will maintain this focus, I will maintain this approach, then you discover that all of those darts, all of those shots at you from outside would have reduced effect on your wholeness. You need to understand this. I remember a time when, in one of the places I worked, where it was a very highly tense environment at some point, and people would always ask me, how do you manage to keep your cool? How do you, in the midst of all of this chaos, how do you look unperturbed? You look unruffled. How do you do it? And many times I just smile because where will I start explaining to you from? There are many explanations I could give you, but it won't even make sense to you right now because you don't even understand what I'm saying. Now, basically, why was I able to maintain that cool? Because by God's grace, I had learned a long time ago to keep my emotions under guard, to make sure that what goes on in my heart is more important than what goes on around me. So in the midst of chaos, I can be composed and coordinated, and out of every other person there, I will be the one that will see the solution and will solve that problem. Why? Because I'm able to detach myself from the tension and the stresses of the environment so that I can think clearly, so that I can be open. And you see, the thing is, you see, your spirit is limitless. Your spirit is limitless. All right. Many times, what happens is that many people, because they allow the things of life to choke them so much, they get their emotions worked up, and they are more involved with with struggling or with complaining about the situation than they are at peace enough to receive insight and guidance on how to navigate that situation. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay, let me not even go so far away from the question. The basic question was managing pressure, and I'm saying to you that what you need to pay attention to the most is what is going on inside of you. So is this pressure to get married? Is it really from outside, or is it what you are telling yourself? Let me emphasize this again. What you're telling yourself is more important than what any other person is saying to you. So think about this clearly. Are you telling yourself truly that I'm disadvantaged? Things are not working for me because I'm not married. My life is on hold because my relationship doesn't seem to work. What exactly are you telling yourself? Are you staying on those negative conversations, or are you telling yourself positive things that will strengthen you and will keep you going despite what situation you're in? It's very important. All right. Now, if there's pressure from every other place around you, but inside you're able to maintain that peace, then trust me, all that pressure from outside, with time, it will just fade away, because they would also notice that it's like this thing is not penetrating, it's not getting into this person. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they'll just say, maybe she's okay like that, maybe it's okay like that. They'll just cut you some slack, because at the end of the day, everything they're saying is not having any effect on you. And do you know that many times the people who even bother you the most, it's not like they really care about you. They really don't care. It's not because of care that they are being involved in asking you when you get. Sometimes it's just apropos. Do you understand? For international audience who don't know what apropos is, please somebody help me with the English word for apropos. What's apropos? What is amebo? Busybody. Somebody help me out. I want to get a comment. All right. There are people who are just looking for updates on your life. It's not like they really care about you. Do you understand? And then you start taking the concerns from all of these people who have no busybody. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Yeah. All right. And give me more synonyms for apropos. Right. So these people have no genuine interest in you. They are just prognosing on your matter. They just want to know what's happening in your life. They just want to have current updates. Just want to have gist. And then they start disturbing you, and guess what? You allow all of those things to come in, and you too start saying to yourself that, it's not working, or what's going on? Listen, and listen very well. You are not in competition with anybody. You need to know this so that you can have peace in your life. You're not in competition with anybody. Listen, your life's trajectory is not the same with any other person. You guys may have been born in the same dispensation. You might belong to the same age grade or age group. You might have done several things, in the same stream, in the same set. And you feel like since this is what's happening to every other person in my age group, it should also happen to me. Listen, it does not have to happen to you like that. You need to understand that God's plan for your life are unique. They are special, and they are customized to you. You must not be at the same place that other people your age are per time. You must not. All right. So I'm saying all of this so that you can give yourself some peace. Pressure will not achieve anything good for you. As a matter of fact, it's a principle I teach people, that you don't negotiate anything important in your life under pressure or in a hurry. No, you don't do that. And we see examples from scripture. Esau came under pressure. Hunger. He was hungry. And there was food sent in the house. Give me food, give me food. Jacob said, give me your birthright. What's birthright? I beg. Something life impacting as that, he traded it off because he was hungry, and because he did not understand spiritual things. As a matter of fact, he did not understand how he did not understand that there's such a thing as the rights of the firstborn, and he lost his blessing. All right, now that is an example. Samson came under pressure. Tell me where your power is. Tell me where your. Let me ask you, for goodness sake, right? If somebody is very keen on knowing what it is that will take you down, and you have given the person other false answers, and the person really checked them out, please let me ask you, is that person really trying to work for your good, or going all out to get you down? You see, that was the situation Samson found himself in, and he yielded. The Bible says after several nagging, he gave in. And what happened? She cut off the locks on his head, and his power was gone. What am I saying? Don't take important life decisions under pressure. Do you understand me? So for that person who says that, how do you manage this pressure? The first thing I would say is, Make sure that you are taking care of your heart, what you are thinking about. The Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues of life. Deliver yourself from that internal pressure, first of all. Yes, I know society, I know family, I know everybody wants you to get married like now, and everybody wants to carry their grandchildren. I mean, your parents want to carry their grandchildren, everybody wants to see you thriving in marriage. But listen to me, it is better to marry right and late in quotes, all right, just in relation to man's timing, okay, than to marry early and be in regret for as long as you're in that marriage. I'll say it again. It is better you marry right, and though it looks late in natural or in human timing sense, than to marry early and live in regret for the rest of that marriage. Okay, so what I'm saying is, why I put that late in parenthesis is because I've just emphasized that you're not in competition with anybody. So don't let anybody tell you when it is early or late in your life. All right. What's important is that you are in step with God on the path to your destiny, and this is very important. All right. So much about managing that pressure. There was another point about oh well, maybe I didn't finish answering. So how do you handle the pressure? First, sort it out with yourself. That you are not going to allow yourself to get under pressure. That you're following God's plan for your life and you're working it out day by day, and you're trusting that in the right time God will bring you the right partner. All right. Now, I've said time and time again that you may also want to reflect. And this is a new year, so it's a good time to do this. Ask yourself, okay, what are the areas where I think I may need to reinvent myself? What are the areas I need to do things differently? What are the areas people complain about me that perhaps maybe something about my behavior, something about my habits that I need to change? You also want to reflect on that. What do I need to do to become more desirable? What do I need to do to become more pleasurable? You want to think about all of that, okay? Because it's one thing to sit down there and say, God send husband, and then God will send husband, and your bad attitude and bad character will drive the person. Do you understand? So you want to also reflect. What do you need to do differently? Are you even sure you're ready for this thing called marriage? Do you understand? Now, while you're doing all of that, and for those other people around you, please, what you want to do is to tell them that, please stop asking me these questions. When it is time, you will hear about it, and I'll make sure you're the first to know. But please, for now, this your regular questioning is not helping the situation, neither is it helping me. So please, I'll appreciate it if you could stop that. All right. Many times they would especially if they're family members, well, they will try to be reasonable with you, unless you just want to be unreasonable. Then it is now entirely up to you to manage your space. There are some people that you will stop picking their calls. Oh yes, there are some people that you will block. Oh yes, because if people are contributing only negative vibes to your life, you have the absolute right to protect yourself from harm. And in this case, it is emotional harm, emotional damage. Yeah, so you block them. All right, so you can block, you can warn them, and you can stop picking their calls. I remember once I was speaking with somebody, a very senior person back then in the office, very senior person, and was hurling all kinds of unprintable words at me. And I tried to caution the person that, please, don't speak to me like this. Say we work for the same office, not me say you could talk to me anyhow. Don't talk to me like that. And the person went on, and I ended the call. And he called back to say, did you hang up on me? I said, oh yes, I did. Really, you did that? Oh yes, I did. How could you do that? I said, because you're saying things that I don't like to me. Do you know who I am? And I ended the call again. And he called back the third time. He said, did you end the call on me? I said, yes, I ended the call on you. And the guy was surprised. I said, sir, you can keep saying what you want to say at the other end, but it is my responsibility to listen to what I want to listen to or not. And this is my phone, by the way, so I can do with it what I want. And I ended the call again. The next call I received was from my supervisor. What is going on between you and this person? I said, this is what is going on. You can't be talking. So you are at liberty to say what you want to say, but I'm not at liberty to receive what you're saying. And you need to know this. Nobody will kill you for it. Do you understand? Now, many people have submitted their lives to haters, to everybody out there. Send in your opinion about me, or your opinion about me is key, or as if you are running your life or living your life by people's opinions. No. You need to understand when to shut other people out when their opinions are contrary to where God is taking you, are contrary to your vision for yourself, are contrary to your progress. I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. You need to learn to protect your space. Protect us. That's part of guarding your heart with all diligence. It means that you're protecting what is coming into your heart. Okay, so please, all I'm saying is Be deliberate, so that that pressure, you can mount guard against it, and it is not finding an inroad to your heart. That's the external pressure. But first, I dealt with the internal pressure. You be careful about what you're telling yourself. All right, so that you're not the one mounting the pressure on yourself by yourself. All right, so much for that. All right, now about the part where should I just marry anyone? Listen to me. Marriage is far too sensitive for you to gamble into. There's another question I'll come to, or maybe I should just speak to it now as I'm answering this one, where someone said that I'm always speaking about people preparing for marriage, but is there such a thing as being adequately prepared per se, like where you have known everything you need to know? And I said the answer is no. All right, so I'll speak to that while I'm answering this question. Now, I discovered that things are different. Things are just different now. I mean, when we were dating, we never had cause to quarrel. And then now, how come little things are getting you irritated or getting you tired? Yes, what's happening now is that there is now covenant. You're now married. And you see, you need to understand how that the devil doesn't really want the marriage institution to work. As a matter of fact, somebody said, I can't remember who it was, that we didn't see the devil all the while during creation. But after Eve had been given to Adam and the two had become one, devil showed up. Do you understand? When it was only Adam, since we did not hear that devil came to do anything, he did not bloody care. But when the marriage institution was introduced and set up, devil showed up. All right. So I'm saying this to say that you need to understand that if you think that not paying deliberate attention to your marriage is just okay and it will just work by default, no, it will not work by default. Things will come to stress you. Do you understand? And when you don't have adequate knowledge to handle these things, oh my God, you will see frustration. And then you would attribute it to all kinds of spiritual forces and all of these things. Meanwhile, what the devil succeeded in doing was from blocking your access to knowledge or making you disinterested in gaining knowledge. That was all he needed to do. That was all. Just set that emotion and leave you alone to self-destruct. Do you understand? So why am I saying this? Don't just marry anybody because after all, nobody has come since finally somebody came. That's another thing I've heard people say. No one has asked me out in 3 years. Now suddenly this person is asking me out and you say I should not say yes. You don't have to say yes. All right? Why? Because you want to be sure that this lifelong commitment, you are getting into it with the right person. And when we say the right person, basically, you and this person need to be able to be on the same frequency in matters that are important to both of you, especially your spirituality, especially your morality, especially your dreams and visions, especially your compatibility. Do you understand? You need to be able to be on the same frequency so that flowing is easy between you two, so that you can attend to issues together. Do you know that there are people married who cannot discuss sensitive things about their own lives with their partners? Do you know that there are people married who, when they have the slightest challenge, they are looking for any other person to talk to but their partners? Do you know that there are people who, when they have ideas of something grand, something beautiful, they discuss it with every other person but their partners? Do you understand what I'm saying? What kind of marriage is that? What kind? That's not a good one. Alright, so it's important that you don't just jump in because you say, after all, no one is asking me out. Now that somebody has come, I have to say yes. You don't have to say yes. You still have to go through the process of verifying that this person, at least, you are convinced in your spirit that this person is the right one for you. Okay? And then that thing about just accepting your fate, whatever will be, will be. I want you to know that there's such a thing as the power of choice. You can actually create your future. You can determine your future. You can create the outcomes of your life by the things you are doing now. It was Dr. Mike Murdoch who said that the success of your future is hidden in your daily routine. Something you're doing now or not doing now is creating the kind of marital future you desire. If you like, spend all your time now reading about all the breakups online. In fact, you go online and you Google hardest and hottest breakup, longest divorce, shortest marriage. If those are the things you are reading, congratulations. Go ahead and we will celebrate the shortness of your relationships and the failure of your marriage. Why? Because what you are putting into your heart is a picture, is a personal prophecy of the outcome of your life. Oh yes. So if that is what you are filling your heart with all the time, then congratulations, your marriage will not work. It's not magic. I'm not swearing at you. I'm just telling you that you are prophesying over yourself by what you are predominantly putting into your heart. So what's the way out? Focus on relationships that are working. Focus on marriages that are working. All right. I've spoken to this point, and so it was the only point I had to. I mean, this question, I said, was the only question I had to speak to today. I think I've spoken to that pressure. I've spoken to the pressure point. I've spoken to just marrying any and everybody, and I said you don't want to do that. Then somebody says whatever marriage brings, I accept it as my fate. No, you don't want to see it that way. Like I said, you want to know that you can create your future by the choices you're making today. Proverbs 19 verse 3. You've heard me quote this thing time and time again. What it says there is that a man's own foolishness ruins his life, but then his heart rages against the Lord. What that means is that certain outcomes in your life are the product of your decisions. Don't be quick to start saying, God, why me? God, if God is there, why is this happening? Why is that not happening? Okay, there's an example I wanted to give, but let me leave that. Okay, so basically, by your choices, you're actually creating a kind of outcome for your life. What you want to ask yourself is, what are the quality of my decisions right now? What are the quality of my choices right now? What kind of person am I right now? And what kind of person do I want to become? Am I on the path to becoming that kind of person I want to become? Listen, there's no way we can teach successful marriages without emphasizing you, without hitting the nail on you. Okay, let me leave this question. You see why I said some questions? I like to just leave them for masterclass because they can just take the whole time. All right. The second question was this question about the question says, what should you really bring to the table? You know, of late, there's been all this talk about what are you bringing to the table? What are they bringing to the table? This one table, that one table. And then I said in one forum, one time I was speaking at one forum, I beg your pardon, that as a lady, if a man is asking you what are you bringing to the table, that is your cue to take your bag, dust the sand off your shoe, and leave. Because what it means is that this person doesn't see any value in you, or hasn't seen any value in you just yet, that they have to be asking what you are bringing to the table. Perhaps what you should also ask the person is, what did you see in me when you approached me? If you're not the one that threw yourself on the person anyway, because these days, guess they rush boys. If you ask yourself, what did you see in me that you came to toast me, or that you came to ask me, and then you're not asking me about table? Many times when people talk about these table questions, it's because they're thinking about financial contribution to the marriage. Many times they're thinking about useless things like should we split bill or should we not split bill? Should I pay the children's school fees or should you contribute to it? Should you contribute your money or should you not contribute my money? Is my money, and your money our money? Many times it's those kind of questions that make people start asking, what are you bringing to the table kind of talk. But listen, you see this table called marriage, right? I have said it time and time again that you should never feel that you are privileged to be in a relationship with somebody. In other words, you count it your life's privilege that such a person could ask you out. In other words, on a normal day, you're not rich to be in a relationship with this person. That's the context I'm saying this in. All right. Now, when you have that kind of mindset about yourself, of course, that's low self-esteem speaking there. So there is no way you will be able to even feel empowered enough to bring out your true element in that relationship. You're always going to be careful so that you don't lose the approval of this person that you're working your whole life, to be validated by. That is a terrible place to be in. And let me say this for somebody listening to me. If you're that person in a relationship right now and you're always working on eggshells because all your validation comes from this, your boyfriend or girlfriend, all right, I want to let you know now, today, that is not a healthy place to be in, and you want to take time out to go and learn and go and empower yourself. You might also want to do that after you have left that relationship because it's not a healthy place to be in. Okay, if you continue there, you're setting yourself up for abuse and more abuse. All right, I just thought to put that out there. So that I don't go too far. Yeah, so this thing about table, right? So I'm saying that anyone who is asking you out should be able to have found value in you. And in your conversations, pre-relationship, those are some questions to ask them. So why me? Why did you choose to marry me? Why do you want to marry me? Why are you interested in me? Why are some people afraid to ask questions in a relationship? Why are you afraid? Did they put gun on your head and say, date me or else? Why are you afraid? You should ask questions. Do you understand? Yes, you should ask questions. So why me? And let me tell you again, if you're a lady, we see a lot of things this world, and I mean these days, and I'm really concerned about the next generation. As a lady, if the only thing you bring to a man is your body, I feel very sorry for you, because that man won't find any other value in you besides your body. And do you know what? Men actually want people as partners with whom they can connect, not just sexually, but also intellectually. They want to be able to discuss with you. They want to be able to make you their guy. They want to be able to gist with you like their guy. And then if all you bring to the person's life is just your body, that means it's only sex that both of you can do together. And then guess what? When he has business ideas, he will look for somebody smarter. When he wants to go for some kind of outings, he will look for somebody who can represent. When he wants to meet with some of his friends, some of his guys, he will look for somebody who can fit the profile. Why? Because you are only good for one thing, and unfortunately, that thing you're good at is not even something that you developed in yourself. It's something that is follow come. Alright? So please, ladies, add more value to yourself. Alright? I'm saying this because I see a lot of things online, especially from people who are self-acclaimed celebrities, or who chance has made them celebrity, right? And then they now have a platform, and then they are dishing out all kinds of baseless, useless advice to young ladies, and everything is all about sex and money or materialism, right? Please, as a lady, God did not send you into this world so that you can be receiving from man. That's not your ultimate purpose for coming into this world. You have value to bring to the world yourself. Some ladies just believe they are the receiving end of life. So a man who cannot change my hair, who cannot buy me a phone, who cannot... What is wrong with you? Is that what your life is about? Really, you have to ask yourself these questions. Oh, why must it be a man who will take care of your personal life? I said in one of my sessions that as a young lady, I think it was one of the guests I had, Coach Abibo, who said that as a young lady, if you cannot fend for your personal needs yourself, then please don't get married yet. Because it's not marriage that is supposed to come and solve your personal problems. It's not marriage. You should be able to cater for yourself first. And let me emphasize it again. Please be able to cater to your needs first before you are thinking about marriage. It's not marriage, like I said in one thing, I'm emphasizing some of these things because we cannot oversay them. Marriage is not your way out of poverty. Marriage is not poverty alleviation program. Marriage is not what breaks the hold of poverty in your life. No, you break that hold first. It's not marriage. Okay? If not, you will live your life being at the mercy of whoever your partner is. Your entire life. And then if there are people who are not good to you, you just accept it because, they are the ones who sponsor your lifestyle, basically. So you cannot do anything except what they say you should do. Okay, so basically I was saying about this thing about bringing to the table. What should you really bring to the table? It's beyond money. It's beyond money, whether you're the man or the woman. And let me speak to guys too. There are men who just believe that the way to any woman's heart or life or in between her legs is money. Just put money on the table. Just put money on the table. And then they start offering to do things for you whether you're asking or not. You put up your niece on your status. Hey, happy birthday, my baby girl. Oh, auntie loves you. And they say, this niece is very pretty. I want to send you money to get her a gift. Who sent you a guy? Nothing. What's connecting this to that? What he's just trying to do is to show you that he has money to throw around. And then you two be like, oh, so thoughtful of you. Then you now send it one. That's okay. You two hold this one. for logistics or for take care of yourself. Okay, let's go for a date. I want you to put on this kind of clothes. I'm sending you money to pick it up, or so you can go shopping. And then you just feel like, oh, this guy is just all over me. He's so nice. What exactly is wrong with you? So you know no say if they set trap. Now waiting did they entice person and then you set the trap. What's wrong with you? Why are you allowing money to lure you, into what may or may not be good for you? Basically, all I'm saying is there are guys who just believe that put money out there and you get her. Alright, and unfortunately ladies have validated that principle time and time again. So what does the guy have to do? Just buy you something. Just impress you with money. Just look flashy and just look rich. And just look good and just have the swag and then just spend a little on her and she's sleeping over tonight. How am I getting into all of these things? Basically, what you are bringing to the table is more than money. That's what I was trying to emphasize. What you are bringing into any marital relationship is your wholeness, is your pleasantness, your personal harmony. And that's why we say you need to be in harmony with yourself. You need to have healed from the traumas in your life. Listen to me, the average, in fact, every human being. I said this in the first session we had this year. Every human being has issues. Every human has issues. Every. Why? Because something about the experiences you have had in your life have left a negative impression on you, or it may not be negative to you now, but by the time there is a partner in your life, there is something about you that they will not be okay with. You can't be that perfect if you're a human being. No, there's something about you they're not going to be fine with. Alright? So, what you're bringing to the table is the fact that you have taken time to deliberately work on yourself to the extent that you are now such a desirable fellow. You are now such a graceful fellow. You are now such a loving fellow. You are now such a committed fellow. You are now such a faithful fellow. That is what you are bringing to your marriage table. It's not money and it's not your body. Do you understand? That is what you're bringing. So just imagine that you have taken time to prepare yourself all these years, and then somebody comes and wants to flash money in your front, and then you just lose guard and follow the money. Tomorrow the person will not ask you, I've been the one paying the bills since we came into this house. What are you bringing to the table? And I say, I wanted if only you will allow me to work now, I'd have had something to be bringing to the table. What kind of nonsense is that? What kind of nonsense is that? The table is your wholeness. That is what you're bringing. The whole package of you, the peace you bring into this person's life, the coordination you bring, the leadership you bring in as the man. Do you understand? The vision, the direction, the decision making. Those are the things you're bringing. Your forgiveness, your tolerance, your maturity, spiritual maturity, emotional maturity, physical maturity. These are the things you are bringing. Stop looking for material things and ephemeral things here and there. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So for that question of what should you really bring to the table, bring your wholeness. And by that, we're saying you're someone who's given to personal development. You're someone who's given to spiritual development. You're somebody who is deliberate and intentional about love. You're somebody who is intentional about marriage. You're intentional about family. You're intentional about being the best version of yourself. That is what we're talking about. That is what Love Code with Mayzy is about. That is why I'm here shouting every week. That is why I'm organizing meetings, trainings, conferences, whatever you call it, so that people can become the best versions of yourself. Because that is what you are taking into your marriage. That is what will ultimately determine whether or not your marriage will be beautiful or not. It is the quality of the human beings inside. Like Dr. Miles Monroe would always say, marriage is like an omelette. It is the quality of eggs involved that will determine if that omelette will come out good. If you bring one good egg and one bad egg, it's a messed up omelette. You cannot eat it. If you bring two bad eggs, useless, terrible. Let me tell you what is happening all over the place, and some of you are seeing that and picking that as a principle that marriage is difficult, it's hard, it cannot work. You see people are breaking up. What's been happening is two bad eggs, or one good egg and one rotten egg, coming together to make an omelette. That's what's been happening. And then you see that and you're saying, I wonder my marriages are just, why will it not fail? It failed before it started. I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. I've been speaking to only 2 questions since. Let me move on. Please, if there's anyone with question, you can also drop it here. All right. Or if you want me to bring you into the room so you can speak to something I have said or respond to something or ask your own question, please also let me know. Okay. I feel like I've taken a question like this before, but let me ask this one again. This person says, I've been in several sexually active relationships. From your teachings, I find this may be the reason for how shallow my relationships have been. How do I move forward in my next relationship without sexual intimacy? Let me read it again. I've been in several sexually active relationships, and from your teachings, I find this may be the reason for how shallow my relationships have been. I'm seeing a request to come to the live. How do I move forward in my next relationship without sexual intimacy? Okay, I'll come to that. There is also a question here. Let me take this question. Someone says, what's my take on cohabitation before marriage? Okay. What's my take on cohabitation before marriage? Thank you. Very good question. Very relevant question. And it's very practical. Cohabitation is basically that situation where you and your partner, your spouse to be, are living together. Sincerely, my take is that I discourage cohabitation before marriage. Why? Because I don't know how you will successfully cohabit without getting sexually involved. I don't know how you're going to do that successfully. I don't know, sincerely. Yeah, you can visit once or twice if you can't help it. Do you understand? If you can't help it, but you're setting yourselves up, right? But to cohabit means that you're living for an extended period of time with this person and you are not yet married. You are basically setting up yourselves for sexual temptation. And that's one of the biggest things. Sincerely, besides that point, there are many other reasons why I could tell you that, oh, it's good to be around the person so you get to see 1 or 2 things. There are certain things you only experience at close range. You know, you may not have seen it all the while. All that is fine. But you see that part about the sexual temptations. Now, the challenge there is that the Bible says, can a man scoop coals in his belly without his belly being burned? It says, can you walk on hot coals without your feet being scorched? You don't want to be meddling with fire. Now, I'm saying this because I'm taking it that the person who is asking this question, that, I mean, my audience are typically, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, so, I mean, all my frame of reference is from the Bible, is from scriptures, all right? So I'll teach from that point of view, because I know that the rest of the world could be indifferent. In fact, for the rest of the world, once you are dating, it means you can sleep with each other. So when people say I'm dating so person, it means you are sleeping with yourself, but having sex, that's what it means in the world, generally speaking, all right? But now for believers, all right, I'll take it that you're asking this because you're a believer and you want to know sound counsel, all right? So believers, I'll tell you, stay away from cohabitation or cohabiting. Why? Because of the sexual temptation. You are exposing yourself a lot. I don't know how you guys will be together, and then, you know, some people say stuff like, I will sleep in the parlor, you will sleep in the room. Abia. When your 2 legs will stand up and go and meet somewhere, it's not somebody that will tell you that one. Do you understand? You're just exposing yourselves unnecessarily. No need to try and see how far we can push this thing. Avoid. There is only one thing in the Bible that scripture says we should flee from, we should avoid, and it is sexual sin. All right? When he spoke about the devil in the book of James, he says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. When it came to sex, it says flee fornication. It means run away. So basically, don't create opportunities for yourselves to indulge, because you see, this is your flesh. Especially if you have been active, it may not be easy, you know, to what's it called now? Your defenses would have already been weakened, so you won't be able to say no. You won't be able to run away. So basically, stay away. So you don't have to run away. Somebody said, lead us not into temptation is better than deliver us from evil. Do you understand? So let us not get into the front of the evil. We will not be praying for deliverance. Oh, come and help me. Oh. And there's that God's prayer. God, do something before something do me. All right? It's better that you stay away than you get in and then you start shouting, God, come and rescue me. Okay, because at that point you might not see God because your emotions are haywire and have taken the front burner. They're taking the lead right now and you just find yourself helpless. Okay, so I don't encourage it, okay? But I encourage regular visits. Try to avoid night visits if you are in the same vicinity. If you're not in the same vicinity, what you can do is on a day that you guys are going to have to spend time together, it's okay if you could arrange to have other people in the house, just for accountability reasons, just so that you don't expose yourselves to temptation. Because the truth is, if it's just both of you in the house, and then, you're this attracted to yourselves, you can stay all day, you have not touched, this is standing inside. When it's time to sleep, you will lie on the bed, maybe. Something will make you just hug. It's just hug. It's just a harmless hug. It's just that it will be very harmful. Because you see that hug, all the current that you have been saving since will flow that time. Then the man will experience a resurrection in one part of his body, and the rest is history. Then he starts saying, oh, should we? Oh, we should not have. Oh, my God. Oh, it's not them, it's you. So for me, that's my answer. All right? As much as possible, stay away, especially because of sexual temptation. Stay away. Stay away. For your own good. I have been saying that I'm going to do a teaching on why people should abstain from sex before marriage. I will schedule that I'll schedule that for this February. I've been saying it for too long. I'm going to put in my calendar now for February, and I'm going to talk about that. Okay, you might think it's not only about spirituality. It's not only about sin. All right, it is mostly about how it affects you, and that is what God is guarding against. That's what He's trying to preserve you from. Okay, so it's not about heaven. It's you. It's you. It's not about God as it's about you. There's nothing you will do today or tomorrow in your full life that will affect God. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's you. Alright, so I'll speak about that. Alright, so I think I have spoken to that question. So let me go back to this one I was about to read before that question came in. If there's any other question, I'd like to still take it. So this person says, the question is, how do you move forward to stay away from sexual intimacy in your relationship? Alright, and then to answer this, one of the things I always like to start with is why. Okay, so you need to understand why you need to stay away. Okay, you need to understand it. If not, the feelings will always be there, the emotions will always be there. I don't know about you guys, but for me, there was a stage in my life where I used to pray, Lord, kill my sexual urges, take it away from me, oh Lord, to do your will is my desire, oh God, take it away from me, Lord. And the Lord did not take it away. He didn't. But you see, I learned. What happened was, God taught me certain things. As a teenager, He taught me certain things. He taught me that He put these feelings there. So why am I praying for Him to take them away? But He put them there for a purpose. And all I need to do is to know how to handle it so that I can take charge of it and so that I can fulfill that purpose. Alright? Wisdom counseling, great to see you, sir. This is a confirmation that I need to reach out to you, sir. I have been saying I will do that, but I've been failing to do it. So thank you for showing up here. I need to talk to you, sir, because you have a word for us. Yes, you do. And I will reach out to you after this session. Thank you for coming on the live. Thank you, sir. All right, so I was saying that people need to understand why you need to stay away from getting sexually involved in your relationship. One of the primary reasons you need to know is that it honors God. It honors God. It shows that you put the word of God in a high place in your heart. Okay? Scripture has said that you should flee it. Scripture has said that, the confines within which marriage is permitted is strictly in marriage. Do you understand? Where it speaks about the bed being undefiled, marriage is honorable in all things. Do you understand? So, when you choose to be chaste in your relationship, what it means is that you're saying, I honor God, and what you need to know is that God rewards that honor. Alright? And I tell people all the time, if chastity was not important, it will not be emphasized in the Bible that Jesus Christ had to come through a virgin birth, or through a virgin. Do you understand? If it was not that important. It was important. That's why it had to be emphasized. Okay. Another thing is that I can say categorically that the reasons why many relationships are complicated is because you're sexually involved. The highest reason. You see that thing called complicated? Okay, let me explain. If it was just that with our two not they see eye to eye, we not they agree, will it not be easy for you to go? And you will go away now. If you people are not agreeing, what's the big deal? Okay, we know they agree. Do you understand? Nothing. We cannot seem to be on the same page on any topic, so we cannot be friends. You will move different ways. Think about it. Are there not other people in your life that is very easy for you to cut away from? Once they give you negative vibes, you say, I beg, I can't deal. Think about it. Why is it that it is this one that is very hard for you? It's because you guys have started doing things, and your emotions have gotten involved, and your emotions, your mind, your decision making is clouded, it's confused. Do you understand? So yes, what part of the things you deliver yourself from is all of that unnecessary emotional drama. All right. And then another thing I tell people is that you don't want to alter your life negatively just because of a passion of a few minutes that you couldn't manage. There are many ways your life can be altered negatively by just indulging. Many ways. If you're a lady, you could get pregnant. If you're a man, you have gotten a lady pregnant. Now you're responsible for her and the baby. She tells you, I'm not going to abort. You say, oh my God. So does it mean I'm going to be I'm going to father a child out of wedlock? In my family, how will my father take it? How will my siblings take it? Oh my God, this has never happened before. I'm a leader in the church. What would you say about? You see all this complication. You see all of these things. You would have just stayed away. Do you understand? Now, I'm seeing one question. I will answer it shortly here, even though my time is already almost up. I started a bit late today, that's why I'm extending. Okay, so basically, there are negative ways that getting sexually involved can affect your life. Pregnancy, STIs, emotional issues, heartbreak, and all of those things. Some people get so emotionally entangled that they swear on their lives that they will never let that partner go. And the partner tries to go, they become so abusive, and before you know, they're breaking somebody's head, they're killing somebody. You know, all manner of terrible things, right? Now, that's that. You also want to take time to reflect on areas that you need to self-develop. Why is that? Because there are reasons why you give into sex very easily. Sometimes it's for validation. Sometimes it's because you think that it makes you feel important to those people. You see, you want to start paying attention to all of those things. If people are able to ask the why, if people are able to introspect, well, many times people are not able to do this by themselves. That's why you have coaches around. That's why you have us to talk to us. We can ask you the right questions and we'll guide you to those places that you're not able to go to by yourself. Do you understand? So you need to speak with a coach or a therapist so that we can guide you, so we can help you. Do you understand? There's a lot I could say there, but let me leave it at these ones I have said. Do you understand? There's a lot to say. If you're the one asking that question, you can chat me up later, and there's a lot to say there. But let me leave it there. Somebody's asking, how do you handle a partner that is very demanding in the other room? And it's a married man that is asking, so I can speak to it. If you're not married, what is your business with the other room? Go and read your book, go to work, go and do other things. Focus on God. But since he's a married person, let me answer. You people should discuss. Discuss. The one that is very active, rather, the one that is not active enough per se, discuss so that you can see in what areas you need to measure up, in what areas that you people can meet at a middle ground. But you guys have to discuss it, all right? But then there are a lot of things that you can do to also improve your performance. And one basic chief of which is getting knowledge. Get the requisite knowledge. There are things you need to know. There are things that will help your physical stamina. There are things that will help your emotional stamina. There are things that will help your state of mind, because at the end of the day, your sexual performance is tied to your state of mind. Do you understand? So there are things you need to know about it. And by the way, there is this coach I see on Instagram. I can't pronounce his name, whether Harris Tito. He's a bad guy. You want to follow him. He gives a lot of tips in very interesting ways. I want to buy his books, by the way. I want to buy them and read. The guy is just fantastic. Anyway, but what I'm saying is you basically want to learn about it. anything you feel like you're not doing well, any area you feel you have a shortcoming in, please seek knowledge, seek knowledge, seek knowledge, seek knowledge. There's a lot of materials on YouTube. You can see me personally after this, we'll talk about it. Okay, but your physical fitness is key, your emotional mindset, your state of mind is key. Okay, your beliefs are also key. So those are some of the things that affect performance in the other room. Okay, so let me stop there for now because it's about my time.